So we're out here this morning, and I gotta do maintenance to the kayak. Not every day can be about fishing and fun. You have to do maintenance to your stuff too. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. And it is hot out here. It is so hot.
The fun sucks.
It's hotter than a hoochie coochie out here, man.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's hotter than a billy goat in a pepper patch. It's hotter than Satan's taint out here.
Satan suck a dick.
It's hotter than a fat kid in corduroys.
Don't put Twinkies on your pizza.
It's hotter than a preacher at a tax audit. So I gotta get through this, and we gotta figure out how we're gonna repair the kayak. The main issue is that the front of the kayak is starting to get a lot of damage. So I want to remedy that before it completely fails. So we're gonna take this seat out so we can flip it upside down. And that's easy to do. There's just 2 clips and it pulls right out. So I don't have room in my garage, so I'm gonna put it in the back of the truck because that's the best I got. So my kayak is a Lifetime Manta. It's 10 feet long, 38 inches wide. It fits everything I need for a trip, including rods, gear, my net, a trolling motor, battery, fish finder, small cooler, and up to 6 rods. But I typically only use 3 to 4 rods when I go out fishing. It also has wheels on the back, so it's easily movable without a trailer. And it was only around $800, so it was right in my budget. If you count the kayak, the trolling motor, the fish finder with the batteries for both of them, and all the other accessories that I put on so far, I'm still well under $1,500. It's not a Hobie, it's not an Old Town, but I like it. It's a great beginner kayak, it will get you out on the water, and it will get you fishing. And that's all that matters. So as you can see here, I want to get rid of all this scum. So I want to clean it up, and it's really starting to wear down. So I want to protect this. There's no holes in it yet. But we want to at least put the guards here. Maybe even from here to here. So I didn't come up with on my own. So I had to go to YouTube, and I had to figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to protect this before I had a bigger problem than I needed to have happen. So this is a shout out to Wendell Fishing, his channel. This is where I got it from. You can go on Amazon and get these 2 sheets of this Kydex material. You get 2 sheets, it's about $15, I believe. And then you pick yourself up some Marine Goop here. This Kydex is used for making gun holsters and knife sheaths. This Kydex is used for making gun holsters and sheaths for knives.
Nice work, Carl. Bump my fist.
So what I want to do is take these 2, I'm going to cut them down the middle, so then I'll have 4 pieces, and I'm going to mold them to fit over that area there. I'm not too worried about what they look like. I might not do a fancy design or anything like that, but these 2 sheets cut down should give me the coverage that I need on the front of the kayak. So the first thing that I want to do is clean up the bottom of the kayak so that the mating surfaces are nice and clean and free of oils. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to use a basic degreaser. That's it. It's actually pretty amazing how many scratches showed themselves after I cleaned all that up. So here are the 2 pieces of Kydex. They're 12 inches by 8 inches. So you want to make a line down the middle. At first I was going to use a hacksaw, but I didn't know how I was going to clamp them without damaging the pieces and potentially breaking them. The best option would be a bandsaw. I don't have one. So what actually ended up working was a disc grinder, and you just follow that line that you drew right down the middle. The disc grinder is gonna heat up the Kydex, but it peels off. It smooths out pretty good, so you shouldn't have to worry about none of that. The next thing I wanted to do was round off the corners of the Kydex. I felt like having sharp corners would allow the pieces of Kydex to grab onto things under the kayak in the water. So I rounded those off, and it actually looked pretty good. The other thing that I wanted to do was scuff up the bottom of the Kydex. There's a textured side and then there's a smooth side. I want the texture side up, so we're gonna scratch up the smooth side. That way it will bond better with the glue, similar to scuffing something up before painting it. All right, so now we have these all cleaned up. We have the corners rounded off. We have the back scuffed up. We're gonna put them on a baking sheet and throw them in the oven. And we wanna get these up to about 350 degrees. These things are gonna be all flimsy when they come out of the oven, so get yourself a pair of welder's gloves. The other way to do this is with a heat gun and just slowly heat up the plastic and mold it on that way. So right now I have the oven preset at 350 degrees, and I'm gonna put them in there for about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna check them regularly, and I wanna see when they're pliable. By setting the temperature on my oven to 350 degrees, that should ensure me that I'm not going to exceed the 380 that they're saying not to do. So we're going to go do that right now. Now, while the Kydex is heating up, we're going to take care of the goop. We're going to make sure that that is ready and read the directions on that. This Marine Goop has a 24-hour curing time, and it also has a 2-minute setup time. So it recommends that you put it on, let it sit for 2 minutes. So we have to take that in consideration as we get going. The fumes that come off of this stuff probably isn't good for you. So I would recommend to definitely do this outside. So right now, we are just trying to mold it to take shape. There you go. This one's ready to go. Now this one is our second piece, and that's ready to go. These other ones need to get heated up again. They cooled down, but these are ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna get a thin Sharpie marker, and I'm gonna trace the outline. This is gonna tell me where I have to put the goop on. So now I have 2 outlines of where we need that goop to go. So I'm going to use a little brush and paint this on. Now what I'm gonna do to help make sure the Kydex sticks where I want it, I'm gonna use some painter's tape and tape over those sections. So now we're gonna let that dry and we're gonna get the other side ready to go. So I'm gonna bring those pieces out right now. So here's the other pieces. So now these two pieces are molded for the other side. So now let's trace them. And now we're gonna add the goop to these sections here. So I brought the kayak in. That's gonna be out of the sun. That's gonna cure for 24 hours. All right, it's the next day. I got the kayak up on the truck and I wanna take a look at how well the Marine Goop and everything held up. It looks good so far. I'm gonna take this tape off. That seemed to work pretty well, having the tape on. Yeah, this stuff hardened up pretty good. Like, it's still not 100% cured. It says it takes 24 hours. I think we're at like 18 hours. And like I said, a lot of it, if you get it on here, but it's kind of like a tough rubber cement. So if you get it on here, it just rubs right off. Yeah, it's like a really tough rubber cement. Yeah, but overall, I think it was a fantastic little project and it was good maintenance to do on the kayak. I use this thing a lot and I want it to be reliable. And in order for things to be reliable, you need to do maintenance to them. Same with your fishing stuff, same with your kayak, all your gear, you got to take care of it. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. So I'm really happy that I was able to protect the bottom of the kayak. I'm glad I found Wendell's fishing channel and he showed a cheap alternative way, because there's some really expensive stuff out there to fix the bottom of the kayak. Now, like, I know cheap isn't always the way to go, but sometimes you need to learn how to do things on a budget. And I think this was a perfect example of that. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money all the time to get quality repairs. If you take your time, you understand what you're working with, you should be able to fix it fairly affordably. And I think this was a perfect example of that. Gotta wait for the trash truck.
Back up the truck! Back it up!
I'm excited to get back out on the water. Thanks for joining me on this video. I hope you learned something. I hope this technique will help you. And if you already knew about it, drop a comment below and tell me about it. Tell me about your experience. I definitely think that if you do it, you should take your time and get things laid out, because you only have a certain amount of time with the Kydex before it starts getting like hardened again. So having everything laid out and planned out is definitely helpful for doing this. Thanks for tuning in. I hope I helped you. Until next time, fish on, take care.